Previously on Talking Joe.
There were so many red ninjas killed in this.
Yeah,
in pretty grisly ways. I counted.
Okay.
Do you want to guess the count? It's time for Chief to guess the count. How many red ninjas have been killed?
28.
I counted 35. My count might have been off because there was a lot going on, but
Talking Joe is on the air, and here are your hosts, Chief and Mark.
Hey, it's me, the Chieftain Tank, joined by you.
Mark.
Yeah, Mark. That's
You normally talk about yourself a bit longer. Yeah, it's me.
Yeah, that's right. Chieftain Tank and the Funky Bunch in the house. Episode 103, Talking Joe, coming at you live. Well, we're live. You'll be getting this.
Always live.
Yeah, well, you'll be getting this down the road. But how you been, sir?
Yeah, good. Another week on the planet Earth. I've been making jingles this week.
Man, this guy's a jingle machine. Yeah, he loves it. Loves it.
See some of those.
What's your out of interest? What are you making those in? What's your?
I've been using Audacity to make.
Okay.
Those.
Yeah. It's a good little program, isn't it? It's good.
It is. Yeah.
It's quite easy to use.
Because GarageBand is meant to be good as well, but that's on the old Apple devices. I think.
Right.
So,
Okay.
I do not have access to that on the PC, but
good stuff.
I'm a simple man.
That's it. Good stuff. In fact, I might hit you up for some tips on some of the effects because I can't really find. Are you a reverb man? Do you like a lot of reverb?
I put a bit of reverb on. It's easy to sort of overdo it, and then it sort of becomes a bit muddy.
I can't work out how to pump the bass, so I might have to get some tips on that from you. But yeah, good stuff. What's been going on with the Chief? So downstairs ceiling finally got fixed.
Woo!
Plaster, and basically I said, I'll go down and paint their ceiling for them, and they said, no, it's all right, we'll do it. And I was like, fine, I'll pay for the paint. And they was like, no, we got the paint spare. So they were really cool about it. Considering they had half their ceiling ripped out.
Very understanding. For
a few days, and then a big hole, and then plaster around, creating havoc and shit everywhere in their kitchen. So yeah, they were very understanding. So. I don't know, if we end up moving the solicitors onto us again this week about the leasehold and all that sort of stuff. So if we do end up moving, I don't know if they'll be happy with the new people that move in, but I'm sure
clearly they won't be as good, will they?
I'm sure that they will flood a different room in the house. But yeah, other thing that has been going down, Chief got kicked out of a Facebook group.
Oh,
yeah, believe the hype. So this is I forget what it's called. It's action figure trading community or trading, something like that. Anyway, one of these action figure groups I joined when I started my action figure purchasing a few months ago.
Hold on, Chief. It sounds like you're getting on a soapbox here.
Oh yeah, let's play that jingle. Soapbox, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when Chief comes for you with his views and opinions? Let's just call them facts. Soapbox, how will the world react? Good man, that's why I need you, the jingle manager, to help me out. So
it's the jingle VIP.
Yeah, the jingle VIP. Listen, so
I'm the king of the jingles, babe.
Oh no, yeah, you're going to write another one, aren't you?
But it's planted the seed.
He's writing notes already. But listen, I joined this group. I joined a few groups to, see what it was all about and maybe get some cheaper figures than eBay, etc. Trade, secondhand, all that kind of stuff. And I had mentioned previously on this pod that I'd bought those 3 Street Fighter or 2 Street Fighter and 1 King of Fighters figures on this Facebook group, 50 quid.
Yeah,
seemed like a great deal.
How much you loved the line because you had the M Bison.
I'd got the M Bison in a Black Friday deal, from Kapow, and then this came up 50 quid, and I was like, wow. And a few people passed on it in that thread. Then I was like, yeah, 50 quid done. So I bought them. They came, and I was like, these are really, really cool. I really like these. What I want to do is I want to upgrade to the ones with full accessories because these only came with 1 head, 1 pair of fist hands, and normally they come with like 3 or 4 heads, 3 or 4 pairs of hands, some effects and stuff like that. And I was like, wicked. I want this Sagat again. I want this Guile again. Not bothered about this King of Fighters Terry Bogard dude, but I'll sell these and get the original boxed ones. So I thought I'd put them on eBay, and I put them on for, I think it put Sagat on for 50 and the other 2 for 45. I thought might as well make a bit of profit if I can. The intention wasn't originally to sell them on, but when they came I was like, these I do want to upgrade, so I'm not going to just sell them on, undervalue them and underprice them. Might as well sell them for what they're worth.
Yeah,
and
sure.
then someone tagged me or replied to the sales post in this Facebook group and said, "Is this you, Chiefy Two Shoes, on eBay selling these figures?" And one guy said, "Oh, this is a piss take. Oh, fucking hell," something like this. And these guys had the right hump. And I said, "Look, it wasn't my intention." I had even messaged the seller on the day I purchased them privately and said, "Look, I'm probably going to get rid of this Terry Bogard dude because I'm not really into that." And he's like, "Yeah, fine." He's like, "Do whatever you want with them." And he even said, "I see you getting flack on the message boards." He goes, "As far as I'm concerned, once I've sold them, you do what you want with them. I don't care." But that didn't reflect the consensus of the group. And then this guy, admin Sammy Maxwell, henceforth known as Sammy Maximum Chump. Sounds like a 90s Marvel event, doesn't it? Maximum Chump. So anyway, Maximum Chump banned me, blocked me from the boards. I saw a notification come in and went to look at it, and I couldn't access his notification. I was like, why can't I do that? And then I realised I didn't have access to the group. I'd been booted. So someone, I got a mole on the inside who remained nameless, sent me a picture of the post that the Maximum Chump had put up saying, "Oh, I've banned this guy, he's scalping, he's bought these 3 figures for 50 quid, put them up for 50 quid each on eBay, we don't tolerate this." And then loads of people chimed in, throwing lots of shade my way, etc. And what Maximum Chump failed to do was he failed to give me a chance to reply, because he'd clearly blocked me and hadn't private messaged me beforehand or anything saying, "Look, this is out of order, man, I'm going to have to block you." Fine, whatever. But he just did it, and then I had no chance to reply. And then clearly he hadn't seen my original post on the sales post where I said, the intention was never to flip these on, but turned out that was the route I took, and I didn't resell them on the Facebook group. I only put them for sale on eBay. And the second thing is, just want to talk about scalping for a quick second. I don't get my knickers in a bunch necessarily about scalping. I don't think it's necessarily great, but I don't particularly care. I'm not going to pay over the odds prices, so it doesn't really matter. And scalping to me is when someone goes and buys 20 Cobra Island Troopers at retail, and then puts them for sale elsewhere at 3, 4, 5 times the price.
Yeah.
So that's to me scalping. I bought these figures which were horrendously underpriced when I bought them, and then I put them on eBay. They go for 70, 80, 90 quid new, and I put them up for 45, 50 quid on eBay used with no accessories. So I'm not overpricing those figures for sale. I'm putting them at a reasonable price. It just so happens that the price I bought them at was way, way too low. If I'd have bought them for 50 quid each on the Facebook site and then sold them at 50 quid each on eBay, would he still have a problem? No.
Yeah.
So I don't honestly see where he's coming from. His main beef seems to be, you took these away from the collectors who could have got them at a great price. Well, there was about 4 or 5 people who passed on them before I came along and bought them. So don't blame me, blame those other idiots and all his cronies, because this is a microcosm of the problem of social media, which is more widespread across obviously Twitter and Instagram, etc. This herd mentality of one idiot and then all his little minions who just latch onto it, these keyboard warriors, who just don't have all the facts to hand, but just are willing to lambast people. But
pile on.
That's it, exactly. Is this okay? Here's another one.
Okay.
You might call me a scalper for this one as well. So I bought in a Black Friday sale a Black Series Imperial Probe Droid, Forbidden Planet, 10 quid. I was like, wow, this retails at 27. I'll have that for 10 quid. It arrived, and I was looking at it in a box, and I was like, no, this was just a rash Black Friday purchase that I don't really need. So I put it up for sale on a Facebook group for 19 quid, and it sold. So I've sold that for 6 quid, 7 quid under retail. And is that scalping?
I don't think so. I mean, that's hardly ludicrous money. It's one item.
Yeah.
I guess it was probably bought with good intentions.
Yeah, I bought it because I was like, Black Friday, let's get them. And then it came, and I was like, I don't need it.
You're not sort of doing anyone over with that.
No.
You're selling it
I'm
at
selling
a fair price.
I'm selling
to
it
someone
new.
that wants it.
I'm selling it new, cheaper than you can buy it anywhere else. So what, I don't know. And it's not like those, like I say, those Cobra Troopers who get sold for way over retail price or these other figures.
You're hardly going to retire on your £6 profit.
No, exactly. And some people say, well, you should have just sold it on for £10. Well, I could have done if I wanted to, but why am I going to do that when I can make an extra £9? Which helps out in the long run. I've got mouths to feed and stuff to do, and I'm not trying to rip people off. And if you don't want to buy it, here's the key point: if you don't want to pay that money, don't buy it.
I mean, if you're selling it for under market price, much less than people are prepared to buy, then you're essentially doing charity to a stranger. You don't know that. Fair enough. If you want to sort of donate your money to a stranger via subsidising action figure prices, do that if you like. But
I do want to give a quick shout out actually to, there was a few people on there that did defend the chief, and said, look, he can do what he wants with them once he's bought them. What does it matter? So the 20% of people that did come to my defence, thumbs up from the chief dog. Thank you very much. But I'm obviously no longer in that group. Look, here's the crux of the matter. Here's the crux of the thing. I've boiled it down and I've worked it out. If you look at Sammy Maximum Chump's posts, you'll see that English is clearly not his first language. His spelling, his grammar, his punctuation is really not there. So he clearly didn't really go through the education system that well. I advise you, Mr. Maximum Chump, to maybe seek out some night courses, some evening classes to maybe get your English up to spec. I think he might be Scottish actually, but still, you need to work on that. And also, there's a lot of rage issues there, and I think there's a seniority complex and maybe some keyboard warriorism. And I do have a friend who is a therapist, so Sammy Maximum Chump, hit me up. I can hook you up with my therapist friend, and they can maybe iron out some of your issues, your problems got going on. So get in touch.
I mean, I think I'm sure. Thanks for that well-considered summary out there.
The views of Chief do not reflect the views of Talking Joe or Funky Bunch in any way. So just want to point that out.
But yeah, I mean, the thing about some of these Facebook groups is they do get sort of very insular and very
it's so toxic. Someone warned me.
Their sort of the rules of that particular group, and there might be two almost identical groups. One behaves in a similar way, and one behaves one way, and one that is very much frowned upon, particular way of behaving. And the logo and the name of the group and the members of the group probably are almost entirely similar. So it can be a little bit sort of just walking on eggshells around the way that things are done in those groups, and they can get very worked up about the smallest of things.
A friend of the show, won't name him, but he messaged me saying the action figure community is the biggest bunch of bedwetters I've ever known. So there you go. Look, and someone else said, look, why are these people getting bent out of shape about a child's toy? I mean, there you go. Listen,
the worst of it is when they pretend that they were trying to buy it for their child. Oh, you got it for so cheap, and wee Jimmy's gonna miss out on his Christmas present.
Yeah, good one.
You really wanted that action figure of a game that he's never played and characters he's never heard of.
Yeah, I'm jumping off the soapbox.
Let's cleanse the palate a little bit, and before we get onto anything else, and what better way to cleanse it than with some mince pies?
Mince pies.
I've been meaning to tell you, I've got this feeling that will tantalize. I look at it, I fantasize. I'm eating tonight. Now I've got you in my insides. just one more bite, is this really wise? Ooh, mince pies. I feel like I've grown to twice my size.
Whoa, new jingle. Good stuff. Have you been eating mince pies this week?
I have. I got my first mince pies of the year, Chiefy, and I got some.
Well, late to the party, funky bunch.
Yeah, late. It's because I've not been in the office. That's where I normally get my mince pie intake from, or
Right.
people bringing in a crate full of mince pies of various sorts. I went for Tesco's finest mini mince pies with cognac, brandy, and port. They've got they're sort of got a snowflake kind of pattern on the top of them.
Yep.
So very good marks there for look, and a sort of a dusting of kind of icing sugar, so looking quite attractive. Very small. They are mini, so only really one or two bites there. Two bites if you're not being too crazy.
Yeah, you better have four. You better have four of them then.
So that's the thing, is that you do have to have four. But yeah, very good.
Okay.
Recommendation. 2 thumbs up from me.
Okay, now I'll get your scores later, but I am personally marking my pies on look, pastry, volume, taste, and Christmas cheer.
Yeah, so I'm going to lose on volume because they're small.
Okay, all right. Okay. Well, you can do it proportional to the size of the overall pie.
I see.
But I don't want to tell you how to do your business.
This involves some equations, I think.
Okay,
all right,
yeah.
okay.
All right, palate cleansed. Unfortunately, we're going to talk about some more toys. Action figures. We all love them. We all love them. Action figures. Oh yeah. They bring us joy in our daily lives. Bring us joy. Action figures. Yeah. Evoking memories from our childhood. But now we're grown and we just can't stop. Buying plastic till our wallets pop. When will it end? Who can say? 'Cause action figures are part of our DNA. Some people say maybe we've gone a little wacko, but action figures bring us joy like a rainbow. They are so hot like a splash of Tabasco. Now it's time for action figure fiasco. Now it's time for action figure fiasco. Right, so we have got Thomas coming in hot here with another take on one of his personal favourites. Take it away, Thomas.
Easy does it, easy does it.
Okay, so we're back, Thomas. You've got more toys you want to talk about, that right? Who we got?
Last time I was a bit crazy with 3. Just kidding, we're doing it again.
So who we going to be talking about? Can you give me some clues?
For one, I brought a friend.
Militarily speaking, it is only fair to say that Cobra Commander is a world-class buffoon.
So we're talking about Destro, is that right?
Yeah.
You've got 3 figures for me to look at. You've got Destro version 1, the original gangster, silver-faced.
Did-it-in.
We've also got an updated 2008 Destro, version 19A on Yo Joe. He's got a gold mask and a red cape, so he's the updated 25th anniversary style
And
version.
a bigger version of the
version
first
2.
one.
And we've got the classified Destro silver mask.
And if you don't know what he looks like and you don't want to look it up, he's basically a bigger version of the first one.
That's right. He's very much inspired by the original Destro because
But he's much more bendy and more detailed.
He's got
and,
a lot of detail.
A bit better.
So what do you think of Destro as a character generally?
He's a big gangster.
A big gangster.
Well, not a gangster. He's a guy that sells guns.
He is, yeah.
That's what I mean. Let's talk about version 1.
So this one came out something like 1983. I had this figure all the way back when I was a little boy, younger than you. It's a cool design, huh?
He's
got rocket launchers on his wrists. And he's got a red medallion. Medallion man.
He has a holster that you can put no weapons in. Perfect!
Yeah, so all of the original versions of the toys, all of these mouldings, they were just stuck on the figure so you couldn't actually interact with them. Unlike this other Destro that you've got from 2008, he has got a scabbard for his sword and also a holster on his leg as well, that he has a little pistol that can go into.
Why does he have spikes on his shoulder pad?
I guess because it looks cool.
So let's go on to the big boy.
Okay, we've now got the G.I. Joe Classified. Yeah, so he's got a cool little golden pistol thing that you're posing. What else do you want to say about
He must be fifth, the one with the golden gun.
Well, first the worst, second the best, third the one with the hairy chest, fourth the something.
And fifth, the one with the golden gun.
Okay.
Because he has a golden gun.
He does.
Now I think it's time we rated them. Which one do you think is the best?
Me? Oh, well, it's not about me, it's about you, Thomas. What do you think?
They're all nice figures, aren't they? Maybe the classified? So what's yours?
No, it's a tricky one. I think Classified one might be objectively the nicest figure, but I'd probably have to go for the version 1 because that's the one that I had when I was a boy.
Okay, true.
So we done with Destro?
Yep, adios. Maybe next time I'll come back with a ninja. Bye!
Good stuff as always from the big man there. Has he got more lined up for next week?
We've not got one lined up yet, so he'll have to have a think.
That's it. Get him in the sweatshop.
He's his new ones are all being they're being sort of circling the airport, waiting for the big man, aka
Santa Claus.
Santa Claus to come and drop them down our chimney.
Yep.
So post Christmas there'll be a plethora of choices.
Right.
We'll see.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Have to know there's the demand there for Thomas.
Yep.
Chain him to this recording desk.
Yeah, the Chief I'm dipping into Marvel Legends today, and this is another Black Friday deal I got. It is a deluxe War Machine, picked up for 20 quid, and the standard kind of silver and black. It's got kind of nice chromy look to it. It looks a little bit plasticky, the silver. It's not some of the best chrome look or silver, metal look I've seen, but it still looks good. It looks good against the matte black. Is a nice touch. I've always liked that War Machine face mask. It's kind of a simple design, isn't it?
Yeah, it's sort of. How would you describe it? Sort of like kind of almost like sort of teeth sort of coming down. Yeah,
and of course War Machine co-created by friend of the show and Action Force artist, and we've even Talking Joe had him on as a guest. We interviewed him, Kev Hopgood, like you say, legend. But this figure, it comes with quite a few accessories. I've got the shoulder Gatling gun cannon, the shoulder rocket launcher. Then it comes with all these effect blast pieces which you can add to the weapons. Then it comes with a couple of blast things that you can put onto his boots to look like he's, jetpacking off the ground. Articulation a bit limited by these kind of shoulder guards, although the shoulder guards do move with the upper arm, which is nice. Fists look a little bit undersized, but that may just be me. Knees look good.
Boasting about the size of your fist there. Okay,
ab crunch looks good. On a lot of figures it looks a bit funky, but because he's in a suit of armour, when you do the ab crunch lean forward and back, it doesn't look weird. It actually looks good.
So he's got a human head that you can switch
he
out
comes with a roadie head. My one's got a bit of a dicky right eye. So I might have to get the paints out and try and fix his eye. But
tricky.
But yeah, overall, pretty pleased with this figure for 20 quid that I got him for. I don't know if I would have paid 28. I don't know if 8 quid for all the accessories is worth it. But overall, get a good flight stand for this guy, and you're going to be able to get some good poses.
It looks good. You're showing me over WhatsApp, and those blasts you can attach to his boots.
Yeah,
all of those those fire effects coming off his weapons.
Yeah,
and the shoulder guns, the way that they can
they can flip back.
Yeah, flip back, be pulled back. That's just a really nice touch. A lot of playability and features.
If you see that guy floating around for the 20 quid mark, definitely pick him up.
Cool.
because he's definitely worth it. He's probably even worth it. Well, I say not worth the extra £7 or £8, but I think maybe I've changed my mind already. So look out for that guy.
Did you see in the crazy fanboy announcements that they had coming out from Disney today? Not today, on their investment call, which for us was I think Thursday night, just gone, and yeah, they one of the things they announced was Armor Wars, I think it was called. Featuring War Machine on coming to Disney Plus.
Yeah, that was the old. I think that was MD Bright, former G.I. Joe artist, was writing that. And I'm trying to think who was drawing that. I'm trying to think who the writer was on that. I have read it. It might have been. Was it John Byrne? Maybe he did Armor Wars too. Yeah. Don't know, but have read it. It's okay. It is just Iron Man. His tech has gone to a lot of his. Rogues Gallery, and he's just fighting his Rogues Gallery one by one. So the story is a bit meh, but I'm sure they'll turn it into something good.
Well, yeah, exactly. They often just take the characters or the title as a kind of a jumping off point and aren't necessarily hugely faithful. Like I think they've got Secret Invasion with Nick Fury there in that, and I don't imagine they're gonna skew too close to the comic books for that. But we'll just take inspiration from it. Was there anything else from those announcements that stuck out for you that was the one that really buzzed your berries?
No, didn't really look at any of those announcements, to be honest. Just heard a couple of things that you mentioned to me there, but no, I don't get caught up in any pre-anticipation hype ever.
Okay, no, just me then.
I'm not to say that when stuff comes out I'm not excited, but it's my pre-release anticipation is almost non-existent for anything.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, but there was like 10 Star Wars projects or something on their list. It was crazy.
Yeah, oversaturation.
Delight. If they keep up the production values, then I'm not going to complain.
Yeah, good stuff. Listen, we're here to talk about some G.I. Joe comics. Comic talk, oh, comic talk. Larry Hammer writes them, Chief and Mark discuss them, whoa. Comic talk, oh, comic talk. Larry Hammer writes them, Chief and Mark discuss them, whoa. Right, on the slate this week, we did say read all 5 issues, but we've decided to just cover 256, 257 and 258, even though it's all called the Cobra's Venom, this 5-parter, it kind of is distinct and it cuts off after 258. There's a bit of an epilogue in 259, but we'll talk about that next week. So here we have got we've got Ron Joseph coming on
That's
as
right,
an artist.
Yeah, so he's the sort of connective tissue for the 5 issues, really, that he's the artist. Yeah,
we'll talk about his work inside in a moment. Let's just quickly look at the covers. 256, got quite a lot of covers here. My favourite one from this lot is... I don't know. I'm looking at one I've got the single issue, so I don't have them blown up yet. But there's one here by Gus Mork. It's a comics vault. It looks like it might be good, but it's quite a small one, so I don't know how that is going to be when I look at a bigger version of it.
Yeah, that's the hooded Cobra Commander with that classic globe in a hand and a cobra wrapped around.
Yeah, I do even quite like I quite like Ron Joseph's just normal cover. With the Venom Venom's face. Yeah.
Mega Venom. I mean, it's probably not the best month for covers overall. John Royal Jinx. There's Jamie Sullivan, who's I think across these 5 issues sort of is doing vehicle variants. So these. Oh
yeah, I just jumped over to the second issue. And he's doing one with a load of. I don't know if he's made those vehicles up. I don't know if they are actual Joe vehicles. They're supposed to be X19s, are they, or whatever they're called?
Yeah, the Conquest, isn't it?
Conquest. Is that the X19? No, X38. Don't know.
Okay, yeah, I can't remember.
On the Stealth Fighter, the X19.
I don't know these numbers.
People will call us out, Joe fans, for us being supposed Joe fans who don't know stuff about Joe.
Not putting in the effort, Chief.
That's it. I'm going to look
103,
across,
by the way.
I'm going to look across to 258 now, actually. I like that. I like the Ron Joseph one here, actually, with the big Venom face, Cobra Commander in his clutches. That's quite
cool, isn't it?
That's quite a cool one. Yeah, it looks a bit like a cross between MODOK and Armin Zola.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Right, let's dig into the insides, the guts of these bad boys, and Funky Bunch, give us a plot breakdown.
Last seen in Darklonia, we discover that Bombstrike, Sightline, Ambush and Milo escaped by hiding in Revanche crates and have inadvertently smuggled themselves into Springfield and also into Dr. Venom's scheming plots in his lab. Venom has created 2 battle androids, a Storm Shadow bot and a giant robot. As Venom begins transferring his consciousness into the big robot, the Joes attack and disrupt the process. In the chaos, Dr. Mindbender reclaims his own body, and an insane Dr. Venom takes over the big robot. The Joes continue fighting the Dr. Venom bots in the Springfield Rec Center, and they attract the attention of Cobra Commander, Baroness, and a group of Vipers. Back in control of his own body, Dr. Mindbender agrees to work with the Joes and Cyborg Storm Shadow to fight Venom bots. Ambush and Sightline use Heat Viper rockets to take out the Venom bot's knees, while Bombstrike drops thermite grenades into its head. As the Venom bot begins fading away, the origin of Dr. Venom is revealed via flashbacks. With that, the end of Venom bot, a G.I. Joe Tomahawk arrives to extract the Joes.
Yeah, that's it. Good summary.
That's it.
I'm going to jump straight in here with I feel, the feel that I got from this early on was very, and this is kind of Ron Joseph is the man here. It had a kind of 80s Marvel feel to it.
Yeah, I get that.
Did you get that kind of vibe?
Yeah.
Especially when I look at page 1, 2, 3, that kind of open plan of the lab, kind of lots of detail going on, but just the way the composition of the panels and the pages, it felt like an 80s Marvel comic, which is not a bad thing necessarily.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean,
his art, I think we both mentioned this to each other, his art is very reminiscent of kind of an early Brian Hitch or Trevor Hairsine kind of vibe.
And indeed, Brian Hitch sort of taking a lot of influence from Alan Davis in his style as well. So you can see that there.
You see the Alan Davis as well, yeah.
So, but yeah, I get that. That's definitely kind of that sort of Marvel. Even some DC sort of early, 80s, early 90s maybe sort of feel to it, which isn't a bad thing. He's got good storytelling.
I'm not familiar prior to this with Ron's work. I don't know what else he's done, but good choice from IDW to put him on these issues, I think. Yeah,
I don't think he's done necessarily a huge body of work yet. I believe he did some of the like Revolution crossover, or whatever. I can't remember the name of the book now. Is it Revolutionaries or something like that? But it's the sort of the Transformers G.I. Joe crossover thing. I believe that he did a big chunk of that.
He's done a really cool panel here towards the end of 256 where Mindbender is now back in control of his body, and there's a flame has kind of come up, and it's almost forming a moustache for him. Yeah.
Very nicely done.
Yeah.
Good effect.
Yeah, good stuff. Story-wise, go on.
I was going to say, just in terms of the art and Ron Jarvis specifically, that this was his big 5-part arc, and he was waylaid by some severe health difficulties during drawing this. So I think it was emergency open heart surgery. So he sort of just kept on going and sort of drawing right up into the surgery, and then picking it up again in his hospital bed kind of thing. So
wow, Joe,
what a soldier, what a trooper. But sort of somewhat waylaid, I guess, the progress that he would have made otherwise, which is why Brian Shearer steps in and picks up the inks for some of it, and I think the art is stronger when being and a sort of more distinct style when Joseph is inking himself.
Right.
I don't know how detailed his pencils would be, because if you're expecting to ink yourself, then you might then you might leave yourself
Yes.
a little bit of the the artwork, some of the heavy lifting to be done in the in the inking process.
Right.
So it might be that that because of that there's more impact from the inker because of that. But all very solid stuff. All nice looking for these 3 issues.
Yeah, really good stuff. Really good stuff. For me, this 3-parter just kind of ended a bit abruptly. I was kind of on board because I'm back into the silliness now, and I was kind of on board with Venom taking his consciousness and putting it into this giant mech thing, also putting Storm Shadow's consciousness or memories into some weird Snake Eyes looking hybrid black and gold thing.
Yeah.
And then Mindbender getting his, Venom's mind was inhabiting his body. Mindbender suddenly getting his mind back. I was kind of on board with all the
Freaky
silliness.
Friday stuff going on.
But yeah, exactly. But I feel that it did wrap up a little bit too succinctly and quickly. But
it's almost a shame that Venom came and went, so quickly. He's such a devious chap that it's sort of a shame to see him go so quickly.
I thought there was a missed opportunity as well, because there's a bit where they kind of tease that the Joes are going to invade, or they're planning to go after the other Joe, the Joes back at the pit. They're going to attack Cobra headquarters or the Cobra's base. But then, and I was like, I get excited because all we ever see is Cobra invading the pit. Now we're actually maybe going to get the Joes invading Cobra, which I don't know if we've actually seen before. But then,
not for a long
time. Is it Hawk? No, it's Duke, isn't it? Who says, Bombstrike, a raid into Cobra HQ at this stage of the game would incur serious casualties. It's impossible to justify. Bombstrike, Ambush and Sightline will have to exfiltrate on their own. So what kind of got me excited just got taken away from me straight away.
Yeah, rug pulled out from underneath.
Yeah.
But they do rock up in the end, albeit just in that tomahawk to get to let them I can't get my words out of my brain and in through my voice box and onto the pod. I said they did it in the end, but it was only a rescue mission. In and out, get them. Rescue mission, yeah.
Bombstrike also has a lightsaber. Did she get that from Luke, or I don't know?
Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
Well, it was a revanche. I don't know if you're wanting me to answer this seriously or not, but it was in the box of robot revanche bits that they were smuggled in. They had all of the revanche robot weaponry, including
lightsabers, right? Okay.
Lightsabers, yeah.
Good stuff.
Blue lightsabers.
Good stuff. Nice panel in this 257 where there's a load of frag vipers and they've thrown some grenades.
Oh yeah,
and
they're sort of plopping down the stairs.
And they're plopping down, but I like the way that Ron's almost used an actual frag viper grenade as reference there, because it's got all those kind of seams around it. So I just thought that was a nice touch, because when I was looking at my frag viper figure a few weeks ago or months ago on the Toy Box episode, I was like, they've got kind of a definite spherical kind of ridged pattern on them. So nice that you've done that.
Yeah, and they're sort of leaning into the Frag Viper's actual specialty in terms of, what they do with throwing their frags down the stairs.
That's it.
They're a character that have been used quite a lot over the last few issues. I don't know whether it's a toy that's in Larry's toy box at the moment, so it's sort of just close to hand in terms of thinking who to use. But yeah, since the last 50 issues almost, they have been definitely one of the most frequently occurring Cobra troops.
Yep, he's definitely got an affinity for them, that's for sure. What else is going on here? I'm just flicking through the book.
So
the Storm Shadow character gets he kind of gets an old like a tablecloth or something, and then
that's right.
Shreds it up to an actual outfit.
Yeah, he's wrapping himself up to make himself look a little bit more Storm Shadowy.
Yeah.
But the really weird thing about this Storm Shadow cyborg character is that he's built up in 256 and 257, and 257 I think concludes with the Joes, Mindbender and Storm Shadow agreeing a pact to take down Venom, but then Storm Shadow disappears and isn't seen at all.
Yeah, gone.
It's a little bit bizarre. It's almost like, you know, he's been forgotten about. But you know, I expect we'll see him somewhere down the line, given that he's not been, you know, taken off or taken out.
Yeah,
as with Venom.
I also struggled as well because at the end of this issue, I kind of missed a bit in the start of the next issue. Baroness is, you know, she's out ordering in an airstrike, and yet Cobra Commander is kind of held hostage by the Venom mech, and I was like, when the hell did that happen? And I had to flick back to the end of 257.
Okay.
There's kind of one panel on the second to last page where he's clutching the mech Venom, as they decided to call him, is clutching Cobra Commander, which then I assume he just runs off with him.
Yeah, it's Cobra Commander, where's the Venom bot? They're both right behind you. Grab. Yoink. But yeah, Baroness, she's not mucking about with Cobra Commander as well, sort of ordering down an airstrike on on Venombot while Cobra Commander is being clutched in one of his hands. I don't imagine that the Rattler Gatling gun is sufficiently accurate to be able to distinguish those few inch differences between the Venom bot and Cobra Commander in his claws.
She is confident in those pilot skills.
Yeah, I think
the
unnecessarily so, because they're quite easily taken out. Pum pum.
Yeah, exactly.
And what did we think of the whole Dr. Venom thing? So I think this is the fourth iteration of Dr. Venom. So we had the original Venom from you know, back in the days, from the very early issues of G.I. Joe. Then we had the virtual Venom, who was around 158, was lurking about in the brainwave scanner and sort of leaked out into Billy's brain, but before being trapped again and tormented by Quinn. Then we had Mindbender Venom, who's been lurking around for the last few issues, and now we've got big old robot Venom bots.
Yeah, Mech Venom. They mentioned Mech Venom, and I was like, what does that mean? They say, how are we going to get Mech Venom? And I was like, oh, what is this? Is this some kind of payload that they're going to deliver to destroy him? And they were actually, no, that was actually what they started referencing him.
Yeah. I mean, I missed that reference, actually. I didn't pick up on that. I was trying to think of words to describe the Venom bot. Miss Mech Venom. And we had a nice little origin flashback that as he's blown up and sort of fading away, we get a bit of an insight into the early days of Venom, or Venom I think he's called, isn't he?
That's it, Venom, and he's chucking puppies off of bridges and all kinds of stuff going on. He's not
got the greatest father figure there.
No. Yeah, wow.
Dear.
Well, nice to see some origins, even if they are pretty dark.
It's nicely done with with the way they've done it, with the puppy over the bridge and the sepia tones to the colouring and stuff like that. And,
amidst all this, did you spot anything? I Spy My Little Eye.
Oh, you caught a couple of them already, but so we see the Fang helicopters, the Fang V1, making a quick cameo. We've not seen those for quite a long time, so again, it's nice to see Larry reaching back into the toy box for some to revive some early favourites. And in the flashback, we saw of Dr. Venom's origin, we saw a mention of an old favourite. So they talk about Dr. Huntkinder from the Bern Institute of Reconstructive Surgery.
Right,
any bells?
Yes.
So, dropping in a little Easter egg that there was a link to Venom studying there with him.
Cool.
Or not study, or rather the sort of indicating that he's he's written to the headmaster, the dean, saying that a witness has come forward implicating him in the death of his father. Yeah, an old name from the past there.
Cool. Very good. Very good. Is Larry up to any of his old tricks in this one?
Well, there's a little bit there. Let's find out.
Stop. Hammer time.
Time to beat the soles of your boots with my face. Sucking chest wounds, red ninjas, brain scanners, rubber oozes, blue ninjas. And some more sucking chest wounds. Hammer time.
Okay, what you got for me?
So I've got the use of the word exfiltrate, which I think is one of Larry's new favourites. We've seen the Joes doing a lot of exfiltration, aka run away.
Yes.
So that popped up in 256, and we also had Mecha Venom talking in a lingo that is not unlike the Revanche Blue Ninjas, because he's also calling all of the Joes meat puppets.
Oh yes, yeah. Larry's a big fan of meat puppets recently.
You gotta love a meat puppet.
Good stuff. I actually, strangely enough, had a favourite line of dialogue this time.
Favourite line of dialogue.
My favourite line of dialogue is from 257, and it's Cobra Commander, where he says, "Surviving frag vipers, blow them to pieces." And just calling out that all your comrades over there are dead, but you surviving ones, go and do this.
Yeah, it's nice to be labelled the surviving ones, and also probably the next in line to be unsurviving.
Yeah, exactly.
I love Dr. Venom's dialogue, and whenever he appears, that's inevitably probably going to be one of my favourite lines. So I picked out one from, I think it's 256. Dr. Venom says, "The inferior man accepts his limitations. The superior man does something about it. And I, if I am anything, am a superior man." Which put me in mind of a couple of other quotes which might have been where Larry drew his inspiration. So Confucius said, "The superior man is distressed by the limitations of his ability. He is not distressed by the fact that men do not recognise the ability that he has." And another favourite quote of mine is George Bernard Shaw from Man and Superman, who said, "The reasonable man adapts himself to the world. The unreasonable one persists in trying to adapt the world to himself. Therefore, all progress depends on the unreasonable man." So that sentiment is all about, if you're a nice guy, if you're just getting on with things, buying and selling some toys on eBay maybe, just get on with it. But if you're unreasonable, you don't like the world around you, you're going to get that world changed.
That's it, man.
Chuck people out of your Facebook group,
people
for
out.
example. Where am I getting these analogies from? It's just
picking them out the air. Let's do it. Let's go for MVP. Who is the MVP? Most valuable person in these issues. Who is the MVP? Is it a Cobra Joe or the enemy? The good guys are the Joes now show counter-terrorist force, but hush, it's on the down low. Pages of this book, go have a look. We're searching for guys or gals that have the hook. The hook of being the best thing in the story, chomping up scenes, front and center allegory. And let's not forget about those cats named Cobra, sipping Dom Perignon. Are you sure they're sober? Brainwave Scanner is back, gonna be messing. Big CC and Destro teach a lesson. Talking valuable, can we talk the dreadnoughts, grape soda, chocolate donuts, and then the jukebox? Who is the MVP? Most valuable person in these issues. Who is the MVP? Is it a Cobra Joe or the enemy?
Okay.
Right, I'm jumping in here, and I think we might have the same one this week, but for me, in these three issues, you got to go with Mech Venom.
Yeah, you got to go Venom. Yeah. There's a lot of entertainment there, both in human form and also when he's in full-on Mech Venom rage, going after the meat puppets. Yeah, a good little origin there from him as well, which I think must be one of the highlights from these three issues.
Yep, agree. So we've got to ask before we go to Yo Joage, where's Molly?
Oh, let's not.
Let's not.
Well, I don't think there is any, and there might not even be any in the next few issues. So maybe we should just not bother with.
Well,
this.
listen, Talking Joe, if it's known for one thing, it's known for being a jingle haven. So listen, you wrote the jingle. We're playing it. God damn it! Hit that music.
Hit it. Where's Marley? Where's Marley? Where's Marley?
Okay, you better pray to any deity you worship that there better be a Molly next week. But anyway,
no Molly this week. Let's find out next week. I think I missed this boat.
What's your Yo Joage for this story?
I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun with Venom. I thought Ron Joseph's art was very good. Let's go 7.5.
7.5 for Funky Bunch. Also had a bit of a laugh here. Ron Joseph on great form. Just the abruptness of the conclusion is letting it down for me. I think I'm going to go with a high 6.5, maybe a 7. I'll decide later. Right, make sure next week you are reading 259 and 260. Is that it? Yeah, just 2.
259, 260. Yeah.
Or do we need to read more? You mentioned to me offline that the next storyline actually encroaches into...
Yeah, the thing is, it rolls on into the next... It rolls on into the next thing, which is called Artificial Intelligence, albeit with Nitho Diaz back on art. So, no harm reading a couple ahead if you like, and we can play it by ear a little bit and see where the best cut-off point is.
Sounds good. After comic talk, I need to come to you for some toy talk. Mark talks about toys, ho ho. He talks about G.I. Joe. He talks about all the toys from the comic book and the animated show. Mark talks about toys. Mark talks about toys. Okay, you are going with... Oh, this is a tough one.
There's quite a few characters across this, so...
I think... Well, I've got a couple of options. I've got Ambush as an option. I've got Frag Viper as an option. I've got... Let's go Ambush.
Nope.
Let's go Frag Viper.
I think you're not going to get it.
Techno Viper.
Nope.
No, I'm not going to get it. Tell me.
It is the Hooded Cobra Commander.
Oh, good one.
So I don't know if he's ever been picked in
no, possibly not.
Talking Toys segment before. But it's an interesting figure. I've just pinged it across. Oh, or rather I haven't, because I just put myself on flight mode.
Oh dear, don't do that.
There we go. Retry. Pew,
There we
pew,
go.
pew.
That's incoming. Here we go. Got it.
So he
Of
was...
course I know what he looks like.
1984 figure, and for the most part he was the original V1 Cobra Commander with the battle helmet, but he's in a darker grey. No, what? He's in a darker blue. Yes,
man's gone colourblind.
He's in a darker blue, and obviously with the very distinct feature of having a hood. So I think this is a case where Cobra Commander, very early on in the comic book, he appeared with the hood. So I would strongly think that that look originated in the comics, and then was picked up by the toy as being an interesting look to Cobra Commander. And he was never actually released as a carded figure. He was only available as a mail-in offer from 1984, and he was available for up until 1990, apparently in the States. So he was, if you had the right flyer, whatever, the right, the flag points, you could go off and get this dude. And I actually sent you a flyer for the way that I got this guy, which was as a Woolworths exclusive offer as an Action Force Hooded Cobra Commander in the UK.
Woolworths. I used to love Woolworths.
Offer closes 30th of April 1988. Yeah, so just buy any Action Force products and send off for a hooded Cobra Commander, fill in your name, address with this leaflet, together with 2 barcodes found on the back of any Action Force product with your Woolworths till receipt.
Wicked.
Yeah, so I got this. This was, I don't think I actually had the V1 Cobra Commander, so this was my main Cobra Commander as a kid in my play, and yeah, he's a good looking guy. I like the colours on him.
Yes,
and
vibrant.
The the dark blue. It's a nice tone of blue. He's got sort of these gold flashes in terms of his belt. And a dagger on his leg. He's got the cobra symbol on his chest and on his waist. The hood, it looks good. I don't know that it's necessarily the best. It's sort of, I think the comic characterizations of that hood probably looked a slightly more dynamic. Probably a hard one to get right. They tried again with the version 5 Cobra Commander in 1992 when he was released with that big Sonic pack.
Oh yes, yeah, Ben's got him, yeah.
And yeah, I don't know that head was necessarily any better. They had another version later on in 2004, which I think was a comic pack version, O-ring version still. But I think they probably did better with the hood on that one. But yeah, it was a nice looking figure and good addition to my personal collection.
And
Let's see what the
of course Peter sold that one, yeah.
I think so. I don't have him. I assume Peter haven't hold on to him. So, yep, another one in Peter's eBay curl.
And that gun that he's coming with there, is that the same gun as he came with in the battle armor?
Yeah, it's that same laser pistol, and it fits nicely into a slot on his back. So it's kind of got a shape, exactly the gun shape in his back, and a sort of a indentation that lets the pistol kind of a prong on the pistol kind of hook into it. So yeah, it's a really, really nice touch on that figure. It's it really endeared me to that figure because you could store his weapon on his person, whereas most of the figures from that era you really couldn't. I can't think of anyone who had that kind of ability to carry around weapons stored about themselves in those early days at all. There's a couple of exceptions like Norgahide, who had a knife on his boots.
Yes,
but really not very many at all.
What's the reason, do you think, here why they didn't go with the same powder blue colour as the original helmeted version?
I think,
or even the colour that is in the pictures of him.
Probably just to differentiate it from the V1, just have a different look to him, and probably inspired by the way that he looked in the comics. He had that, would generally have a darker blue to him. I don't think he tended to have such a vibrant light blue as he did in the version 1 figure when he appeared in the comic books.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. But
all right. Good stuff. There he is. The big CC.
They do love their colour variants.
Yeah. Yeah. More toys next week with 2 issues to choose from. Who's he going to go? I will probably get it right as always, though. Listen, to tune in for more toys next week. But right now, we've got to see what the question from the listeners was. We asked you a question for you to come up with a question that then we would answer instead of you answering, because this time we are the listeners to your questions and we will answer them. Terrible. Bring back Funky Punch's jingle. So yeah, we asked you to give us a question that you wanted answered, and we had a couple in. I think, didn't we?
Yeah. So over on the Facebook group, we said, what do you think we should ask as a question? And the couple of suggestions we got were from Bart, suggested, what issue did the book fall off the rails for you? Which is a leading question, Your Honour.
Yes. So you're going to say, judging by your scores you're giving, you're saying it hasn't fallen off the rails. And Chief is going to say, when did it fall off the rails? Maybe with like number 140 something, Space Brigade.
Oh, that's late.
I don't know.
I was going to say, for me, I think there was a couple of drops. There was probably 3 maybe even drops. But the first big one for me was probably in 122. So I wasn't really a fan of Wildman's art on the book, and probably in part due to Baskerville's inking style. I didn't really think that it sort of fitted in with the sort of the legacy of the look of the book that had been established.
Okay.
But giving it a bit of a pass on it, at least on the story. But then when we got to 122 with the transforming castle, that was just too much for me. Silent Castle transforming into a castle Jestro. Did not like that, and then I guess it sort of held that kind of pace for a little bit, and then we got to 135 where they had Snake Eyes and Ninja Force, which was near the beginning of the end for me in terms of that run, and I think it just continued to go downhill from there. Some of the Space Force maybe wasn't quite as bad, because actually they're bringing back the October Guard, and it was something a bit different. Not necessarily the best art, but those last 20 issues, I suppose, of the book, not too many redeeming qualities. But in terms of the relaunch at IDW, it's had its ups and downs. We had and I'd never say it's gone off the rails for me completely. I've sort of, generally enjoyed most of it more than I've not enjoyed. And even for you posted your ranking of all of your ratings, and
yes.
Pete noticed that,
and yours as well. Everyone, all the co-hosts are on there.
Oh, sorry, everyone's okay.
Everyone's,
Pete noticed that you had actually ranked in your top 20. You'd ranked 2 of the IDW era arcs, so you had 188 to 191. I think
a couple
it was.
of two-parters. That's the Lady J Major Blood one.
That's right.
And the Red Shadows Black Major return. I think
on the ship.
Yeah.
Good issues.
Yeah, great stories. Little good story arcs there. So I think for me, it's I kind of just threw out the Space Brigade or Space Patrol, whatever they're called. I don't actually know, but I don't know. It's, if you look at a golden era of Joe, you're probably looking. I know you say something like around 21 to maybe 100 or something like that. I know S-Jub says 1 to 20 or something like that. But for me, I can probably go back as far as 1 all the way up to 100, and probably don't need anything past that for me. But having said that, the books were still readable, obviously, after that. But now it's just kind of recently where I'm losing a bit of steam with the book. But that's 270 odd issues in, so no book is going to maintain the same superior quality for 270 issues. No comic book. So
with the same creative team, at least in terms of writing.
Yeah.
But I've been reading ahead a little bit.
Okay.
Because I've been enjoying it and wanted to see where it would go. So
interesting.
I think we've got some highlights still to look forward to in the next few episodes.
There was also another question. I forget it was wrong. You can help me out here.
That's right. Yeah, Gary asked about if Larry Hama were to retire and the G.I. Joe era book was to keep on going, who would you like to see take over scripting?
So I would say, if you want a real kind of military bent to the book, there's a guy, I think his name's Nathan Edmondson. He's written some Image books, and then I think he wrote Deathlock and something else at Marvel, but he's got quite a kind of hard-boiled, serious military tone to his writing. I think he would be good if you want that. If you want a high, it's never going to happen, but if you want a high-profile name on it, I think maybe Greg Rucka could do a good job.
Yeah, it was on my list as well, actually.
Oh, was he? Yeah, because I'm just thinking of, he did Gotham Central, tag teaming with Ed Brubaker, and so, he's good at big supporting casts, and I think he could do a good job.
Yeah, I mean, Lazarus is one of my favourite books, probably full stop.
Right.
That's Greg Rucka with Michael Lark on art. Definite Image. Recommendation from me. And if we could bring some of that vibe to the book, to the G.I. Joe book, that would be a great looking and reading book.
Who else you got? You got anyone else?
I had. You mentioned Ed Brubaker. Everything he does is very solid. I imagine if he was to throw his hat into the ring and give G.I. Joe a chance, I'm sure there would be some interesting outputs.
Yeah.
Just in terms of the consistency of his work being very high. And in terms of a safe pair of hands, there's Chuck Dixon. So he's, I think, good buds with Larry. He's done a lot of work on G.I. Joe before, and he seems to get it. Get how it works, get that sort of how you manage a large cast of characters, keep the story going, bring in some military realism to it. So I think he'd be a good safe pair of hands. And actually, he joined onto the Devil's Due book, G.I. Joe Reloaded, which was meant to be sort of a new take on G.I. Joe, I guess inspired by like the Ultimate Universe in Marvel. And he joined the run fairly late on, and it really had been floundering up to that point. But once he joined it started getting a bit interesting. I think it just had too much of the taint of it not really working with the previous creative teams on it. But yeah, he's shown that he can take a floundering G.I. Joe book and kind of turn it around and make it interesting. So yeah, I think he would be a good, if safe, bet.
Yeah, good. Yep. No one knows the plans other than Larry, I suppose, when he's going to finish and what's going to happen to the book, but wait and see. Hopefully IDW are listening and they can put some of our suggestions to good use.
Yeah, just get the best creators in the world and put them on it, I think was our main suggestion.
That's it. Have we got a question for next week? I completely forgot to ask you that before we start recording.
I've not thought of one, so
we will think of one and we'll put it up on the socials.
Yeah, we could ask people what their favourite stretch is again, maybe. It's been a while.
Yeah. Good show. Energy high. Show was tight. Feeling good. I need to go and buy some mince pies now. I need to get your scores to put them on my spreadsheet. Love a spreadsheet. And get us in all the usual places. That's talking_Joe on Twitter, Talking Joe Comics on Instagram, talkingjoecomics@gmail.com, and Talking Joe, a G.I. Joe podcast on Facebook. We will be back next week with all the usual segments. We've got a couple of potential guests lined up over the coming weeks. We won't spoil that just in case things don't materialise, but stay tuned. We've got maybe 1, 2, maybe even 3 guests, maybe even 4 actually, but one of them might be a bit hard to get. But stay tuned. We will definitely have some people coming on the show to discuss all things Joe, and we'll be here, definitely. Me and you'll be here, if nothing else.
Well, it's probably time I quit, isn't it?
Haven't you got a dog that I can use instead of you or something? Oh, you have, yeah.
Well, Thomas suggested that the dog would be good on the podcast, and I said, well, it's going to be a lot of panting.
What's his toy knowledge like? Anyway.
Squeaky toys?
Yeah. With all that said and done, we will catch you down the road.
Because we've been Talking Joe.
And we're all out of Joes.
But
dogs.
If we did have some Joes, we'd put them on eBay.
You sure would, yeah. At exorbitant prices. Laters.
Now, I'm the king of the singers, the jingle VIP. Chief reached the top and had to stop, and that's what's bothering me. I wanna have my own fan club, lay down some killer sounds, and beat Chief's jingle count, funky bunch and monkeying around. Ooh-be-doo, I wanna make a jingle too. I wanna rap like you, talk like you too. You see it's true, a co-host like me can learn to make jingles too.